Alright, hey guys, this is Mako for another video for 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Today we're going to be doing the Training Cave, which is a mode in the game to pick up some needed items to build UR gear and hammers to max out your stats on your gear. I'm going to try to do all level 3s. I've done this several times before, so my teams are kind of all set up anyway. Just remember, this is ungeared. You cannot bring gear in here. So we're going to go to the first level 3. I don't do the level 2s or 1s, but I'll try to give some insights on the battles for level 3. Okay, so this first guy, he does more damage as his alt gauge goes up. So you want an ulti drain team that also kind of breaks his attack. So I use the free Ban, this red Dian, Kung Fu Master Dian. And of course my boy Dreyfus, he breaks attack. So I just threw Benimaru in at the end. If you don't have him, it's okay, he's not really necessary here. I haven't even really built him, so he's kind of whatever. For this one I use Lifesteal Food, and we're gonna go in. This is one of my least favorite fights in the Training Cave. It is a little bit RNG dependent, depending on what cards you get. So, if I die, I die, but I usually do pretty well. What I typically do is not use auto, but whatever. I always break his attack. And I've got some drains up with Ban now. He does do quite a bit of damage to red units. Even as a green, he crits quite a bit, and he's pretty strong. So here I'm gonna do the defense break, drain, and drain again to prevent his ulti. The other strategy, like, you could skip the drain on his ulti and just let it go off. It's a single target. He usually goes right for Dreyfus. Not sure on stats what he targets. So this time he's going for Dian. In my experience, he usually goes for Dreyfus, then right to Ban. And you kind of want to keep his like attack down. So if you have the Dreyfus cards, you can really kind of keep his ult from doing a lot of damage by breaking his attack. He'll do a little bit more because Dreyfus, I think, is about to die. He's going for Ban though, right there, so that helps. But yeah, Dreyfus is down. That's okay. It's not a big deal, really. Because he's down to 1 alt gauge now, so he really doesn't do a lot of damage after that. But I'll drain him, break his defense, and then do a Ban ult. This is going to be kind of a longer video, but I gotta do the cave every week anyway. So if you need some tips, I built my teams a lot according to Sekapoko's guide. I'll drop a link to that in the comments so you guys can go for an easy reference, kind of ideal characters to use. It is a little outdated in the sense that the limited characters aren't on there. Like the Titan characters, you can just kind of use on whatever fight you want if you have them. Same for the slime characters, really. Like, there's some that they're better at, but they're not really mentioned in the guide, so they're kind of just freebie units that you can go for. So he's almost dead. He took out Benny, but, you know, whatever. He should die this turn, I think. So we're going to go for a defense break and a drain. Nope. Maybe next turn. Ban is kind of the all-star here because he can interrupt that nasty ult pretty much at will, as long as you have the cards. But I like to keep his defense down if I can, so Ban hits a little bit harder. So you can see there he took him out, 17k hit. Okay, so that's battle number 1. That's one of the longer ones for sure. Alright, another amber spawns. We're gonna go right to the level 3. Okay, so this guy, he, you want Galland here because Galland locks him to only hitting Galland outside of his ult. So the key here is to use Liz to heal Galland. Galland kind of tanks, and then you have Marmus who can break defense to help out a little bit. So what we're gonna do is he gets rid of bleeds and debuffs. Like, it looks like he takes out 1 per turn, but as you can see, he's locked onto Galland. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll just merge on Lord Marmite. And then the lifesteal food helps keep Galland up. So I just want to adjust my audio level here. It's a little loud. So we got kind of bad cards here, but I'm going to do the attack seal card, then the defense break, because he'll probably clear off the defense break. Or actually, he might clear off the bleed. It seems to be the buff that's like all the way to the right, I think. So if he gets rid of one of them, that'll probably, yeah, so he took the bleed off, so that locks his attack for a turn, so that's always a good thing. Sorry, hit my pause there. So his ult hits everybody, but they tank it reasonably well. Especially the lifesteal food helps, and then you can always throw up more stuff. We'll use the bleed here and the attack seal next turn. But Liz can keep your team alive really well here because she ticks that 10% heal every turn. And then they kind of, like, she ticks the heal, and then she has, like, her ult is really powerful for like dot healing. So we're gonna defense break, ult, and heal. So that's a 60% defense break with Galland, or with Marmus, and then the Galland ult on top of it. So Galland gets a nice stat buff there, and then he respawns with his ult, but he can't get past Galland to do any real damage to your team after the ult. Like, he's locked onto Galland for all single targets, so then the heal just ticks in and removes his stuff. So I'm gonna attack seal him, bleed him, and I'll save the defense break for next turn, because he'll remove that if I apply it second. So he should take the bleed off here. No, so he took the attack seal there, so it is kind of random, but it's okay. He can't get past Galland. So Galland's, unfortunately, his stat buff went away. Like, after his ult, if you start hitting with his melee attacks, he does quite a bit of damage to the boss. I don't really have any good cards here to use, so we'll see if Galland can take him out, though, this turn. Oop, almost. One more turn. So we'll get one more ult here, but we have our rejuvenation tick up, so it's not a big deal. He still can't get past Galland, so... you do need reasonably well-built characters to do this fight. Like, you need Galland at 80, pretty much. So he died to bleed, which is cool. I have Galland with his plant hat. Okay, so next one. Sorry, I know this video is going to be long, because it does take a while to get through some of the level 3 fights. Some of them are reasonably quick. Alright, so we got Helbram next. Helbram I use Rimuru in. I kind of use a lot of the guys here from the Slime collab. Milim is actually really good for this one because she can stall ultimates. I just use Lifesteal Food again. We'll start it. I'm using the new blue Arthur. I updated him onto this team. Before, I don't remember who I was using. But if you have him, I like blue Arthur quite a bit. He's one of my favorite characters. So what you want to do here is just kind of open up with some DPS type stuff on the first hit. The thing is, Helbram buffs himself and goes for his ult, so you want to have some people with Rupture on your team because it does 2 times damage to anyone with a buff on them. So you can, he likes to beat up on Milim, which I'm gonna level her up at some point. I just don't have the pendants right now. So you can see he kind of ulted himself all the way up. So what we do is we start debuffing him with ulti stall. That's what Milim does. Disables ultimate moves for 1 turn. It is handy here if you have Rimuru's taunt, which I did not get those cards, but I can at least put the ultimate move disable. I won't need it next turn, but you want to get some damage in on him while he has his attack buff up, because Rimuru has Rupture damage on his red card, and he has a taunt on his other card. So what we're going to do here is attack with Arthur, taunt with Rimuru, and then stall his ult again with Milim. So he'll be forced to attack Rimuru next turn, and we can lock down that ult so he can't use his ult this turn. Rimuru might die. He sometimes does, but that's okay. So he's going for the buff, so no deaths, and Rimuru gets a nice little heal out of it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do some damage, taunt, and stall his ult again. So this just prevents his single target AoE, single target AoE, his single target ult from going off for another turn. You can see Milim died there due to dot damage, but we have 2 ults coming up, which is going to be handy. Deanne here doesn't really do too much. She does have Rupture damage though, so she can add some damage in on her turns. I'm going to use Rupture, and then Arthur's ult, and then Rimuru's ult. And I think this will just end the fight right here. Should. Yeah. My Arthur is 4/6, so he's reasonably strong. Take that. So we got some hammers. Always love hammers. The next battle is going to be against a mirror match team. So I don't know which one it's going to be. I think it's probably going to be the Gallon team, which is largely a blue team. It's blue and red. So it's whatever team had 97k CC. So what I do for these teams is I use, I pick one AoE character, which in this case I'm going to go right with Green Bond, and then I pick a couple characters to go along with it that aren't core characters to any team. So I like to use Green Aaron, and I can take someone like Blue Mikasa. Mine's not built because I only have her 1/6, but she's just kind of a filler on the team anyway. And you want to throw in one more person. I'm going to leave Levi for my red AoE team. I'll throw in Red Gallant because we're already through the fight that you need Gallant for. And then with this one, I will get Pierce Food to help with AoE, and you can see we have enough CC to go ahead. And I'm not going to change the associations, it doesn't really matter that much. You could do that and easily get more CC, but we have enough to go forward. Go do this fight. I wish I could fast forward these fights. I'm not very good at video editing, so I'm gonna extort, and then I will use Aaron's AoE. So it's the Rimuru team, it's not the Gallon team, but that's okay, they're still blue. It's an all blue team, and I'm using 2 greens and a blue. So Mikasa's not really there for anything at all, she's just gonna do whatever. Throw damage cards or whatever, but she's not built, so I really like her. I wish I had gotten better, you know, cards with her. Like, I only got 1 of her, and it was really late, so I didn't bother bringing her to 80 yet. My green Aaron ended at 4-6, and my red Levi ended at 4-6. And then, my, obviously, blue Aaron is 6-6, because he was free, so he took out Arthur, that's good. We're gonna extort, use AoE, and then... Alright, she's damaged to 1 enemy, so we'll just take out Rimuru. Because he's much deadlier than... He's not really deadly at all, but he's more of a threat than Milim, I would say. Because Milim's only a 60, so we'll just take him out. And so, of course, Dion jumps in, but she's not going to be a threat to anybody. So she sealed Aaron's ult, but we don't have it anyway, so who cares? We will... I'm going to do Bond's ult on Dion, and we'll use that level 2. I think that's an AoE card. Just to get the extort. So the AoE took out Milim, prevented her ult, and that, yeah, that'll take out Dion. So that's the first mirror match done. That gives you those purple crystals that you need to make UR gear. You can see we got 6 anvils there. It's not a lot, but every anvil helps, I would say. Okay, I didn't see who our next battle is against here. Okay, this guy sucks. I really hate this guy. The general strategy with him is you need to get yourself immune to his debuffs as fast as possible. You can petrify this guy, but once he gets, like, he applies a debuff to your team that makes him do more damage, and then his ult absolutely crushes you if you're not protected against it. So that's why I use blue Arthur here. This is a really bad opening hand, so we're gonna go for the attack seal right away, and we'll buff up King so he can clear debuffs and petrify next turn. He's probably gonna throw... Yeah, the increased damage taken buff is the bad thing. So what we'll do here is, because if he gets that ult off, he's gonna do major damage to your team with that buff on. So we're gonna clear the debuff, and then we're gonna start building up Arthur's level 3, and we'll petrify him so he can't do anything this turn. It's just kind of an easy CC crowd control type method. And then once we get Arthur's buff off, we'll be immune to his debuffs for a couple of turns. The thing is with this guy, you don't want to do your huge ults until he's down low, because if it doesn't kill him, he seems to heal. See, like, he healed really far up there. If the ult doesn't kill him, you can see his ult does big damage, even with Arthur's buff on. If you had that increased damage card on you, that debuff, you'd be in pretty big trouble there. So we're gonna heal up, and then we're gonna petrify him one more time. Give ourselves a little bit of an HP shield going on here. Okay. We're going to save King's ult until he's down just a little bit lower, because we want to make sure it kills him. King is 6-6 though, so he does hit pretty hard. And we'll just throw that. That gives him the attack disable. So the next turn, he's gonna ult me here. Or no, okay, so the attack seal prevented all of his cards, which is really good. And we're going to, yeah, we'll just do a level 2 buff, and then we're gonna set King up for the kill. I'm sure that's overkill because he doesn't have a lot of HP left, and King can just nuke. Yeah, so he doesn't do tons of damage, but my King is using HP. Well, he's actually not using any set here, but I built a UR HP defense set for him, which you could build attack, but I had like HP defense on like playing kind of a more defensive role with King. So that takes that guy out. We're through a lot of the most troublesome fights. They happened really fast. Alright, so Hendy. I used to hate this guy. He's not really bad anymore. Captain Melly works really well here. Elaine for draining ult. Liz for building your ult and healing. And I just throw Jillian in here. She can disrupt stances and stuff, but she's not really... she's kind of whatever. So what I like to do here is let him kind of beat on Melly and use his counters to end the battle quick. You could easily use Estarossa here. I don't have him at the moment, so that's one of the core characters that I really want is Green Estarossa. So I'm just going to go full on Melly here. Put some damage into him. So Melly will counter here. He hasn't taken a lot of HP damage. Lifesteal, it's okay. It heals Melly, but which is both a good and bad thing because he lives, but he does less counter damage. So Elaine is going to take off his ult here. Just roll his gauge back by 1. The thing is, Elaine and counter Melly both have LBs that stun, but yeah, he's taking Melly out quick. Like a jerk, because Hendy's annoying and everybody hates him. Okay, so we will do that. Put the heals together. That way we can get Liz's ult. Start ranking up. I wanna keep Elaine's ult as much as possible. So I'll ult with her to get a free turn because we'll stun him. So we'll do that. We will stun him and then we'll pop Liz's ult, which will heal and give 2 orbs back to Elaine. So this is one of the bosses you can CC with stun mechanics, which is cool. Rimuru would be good here too, if you don't use him in the other fight. If you're around for the slime collab. If you start playing after that, it's not a big deal. He's handy, but I don't take him into PvP or anything because he doesn't have a lot of cosmetics, unfortunately. But I love that anime, so I'm hoping at some point maybe they release a couple more cosmetics for him or something, but I doubt it. The limited characters don't seem to get a lot of love after the event is over, sadly. I wish they would though, because that'd be really cool. So we'll roll back his ult again here. His ult is just, like, I think it's a single target nuke. It's really not that bad, but if you don't have to eat ult damage, then skip it. So we've definitely got this fight in the bag. Because we'll stun him again next turn. And Jillian will most likely take him out because she's level 80. I like Jillian. No, Elaine's taking him out, so that's cool. She's alright. Nobody really likes Elaine, but she has her uses in Training Cave, so if you pull her, don't cry, you know? Like, I know she's a troll, but at least you get some kind of use out of the troll. Alright, so this next one is the fairy. Red Slater is super good here. And alright, so we used Gallon, so I'm gonna swap in for Levi. And we're gonna do Lifesteal. The thing with the fairy is all her damage comes from her attacks. Like her ult just puts corrosion on you, which really isn't that hard to deal with. Now I'm gonna make some breakfast while I'm waiting. Okay, so I would say save your Slater cards, just use level 1s. This locks out almost all her damage and abilities. And I'm using Rimuru in the slime form. He's not good, but he can at least heal you in a pinch. But Slater's the MVP here for sure. He's so fun to use against this guy because she literally can't do anything if you lock her attacks out. I'll do this. We don't need to reapply the debuffs quite yet. I think they last 3 turns, I want to say. I still have to get ready for work. Alright, so we need another round of debuffs. Slater. And we'll just throw the Rimuru card so that he starts building up a heal. We don't need to re-debuff yet. As you can see, Slater just kind of totally messes her up. Like, he won't let her do anything except apply corrosion, which really isn't hard to deal with when you have lifesteal food. You just leech back all your health really quickly. So there's corrosion, but she can't do anything else because she's debuffed. So you do that, and that, and I think that's going to end the fight. You'll see. Levi should be able to take her out. He's pretty strong. He's got 4/6 ulti. Yeah. Easy victory. Oh yay. Enhancement stones. I need those. I only have 4,000. Terrible. Okay, so next one is the mirror match again. So we don't know what team we'll be facing yet. 90,772, so it's not going to be a hard team. This one I'm going to do... I always save my Demon Melee, Blue Demon Melee team for the end of this, the last mirror match. Because you can kind of just bully the other ones pretty easily. Where is he? Alright, I want Hauser. I want... I'll just throw Green Darien to get rid of her. We don't really need her. A lot of guys you still use, like I can use Red King, and I'll just throw in... I'm just throwing Red Jerry because I'm not going to use it for anything else. And as usual, grab some lifesteal food. It's my favorite food to use. I use it in PvP a lot too. I just like it. Not everybody likes it. I like it. Big brain food. Okay, so we're up against the Red Slater team that I just used. So we're just gonna start doing AoE damage, and I don't even know what Green Dairy does. So that depletes all gauge, and Leap Shock does AoE damage. So we use that. I don't think Green Dairy is actually all that. She's just not that great. She's a freaking beast. So we're getting crappy cards, but I'm not really worried about anything. We'll do Leap Shock. Attack on all enemies. And we'll deplete Slater for whatever. Just get rid of a card. Don't need to do. We're going to easily win this one just because of the color advantage. They're not doing anything. They lock down King, of all people. Red King is... He's not good in the front line. He's really only there for his passive and like PvP. We'll do these on Levi to keep his alt gauge down. I should give me some Hauser cards, but you know. So we'll just break his alt gauge down with Derry. I think, yeah, Derry's got Combo Star again. But she doesn't build up stacks of attack in this form, so she's good for Training Cave, but I really wouldn't use her outside of that. Do that. Oh, you know what? Well, yeah, I guess that's fine. Do this. We'll throw that. Combo. My goal there was to take out Rimuru. I didn't have to use the alt. I could throw the alt into somebody else, like Levi, who's a bit more threatening. So they took King out, but that's not a big deal. Because I've got Hauser cards now. So I'm going to wipe both Slater and Levi out here. Yeah. So this fight's pretty much over now. Because Red Gilthunder is not a threat to anything whatsoever. He's just kind of a washed up tank. Like he's way behind Estarossa and stuff. Which I wish they'd make a better Gilthunder, because I really like Gilthunder, but, you know. He's like the misunderstood angsty boy of 7DS. Very angsty. Sorry if you're angsty. I love you. Alright, so that's the second mirror match down. I was able to do the level 3s. I think the second week Training Cave was out. But, like I said, I give that credit to the other YouTubers, especially Sekapoko. He did an awesome guide for this. So, who are we fighting? I didn't even look. Oh, this asshole. Okay. This guy is, like, you break his attack and then you just kind of lace damage into him. So, I'm going to do crit chance. So, Jerry and Green King both have really high crit damage already. So, I like to eat that food to up their crit chance. I use it against Grey Demons too. Just make King almost guaranteed crit. Jerry hits real hard too. So with this guy, he usually goes right either for Jerry or I forget that guy's name now. The Holy Knight on the end with the bell. I don't remember his name. But he can break attack here, which helps a lot. So yeah, he's going right for Mr. Holy Knight. And I believe his damage goes up as his ulti gauge goes up, if I remember correctly. So we'll do this, because we can drop a level 3 King Spear on him, which always does, well, not always, but has a good chance of doing high damage if it crits. Which usually it does. Yeah, so ungeared, 66,000. So he's going to take out... Rune is his name. Holy Knight Rune. Which is fine. Jerry's really squishy. King's a little tankier. But then we've got good old Griamore hopping into the fight. So this one's going to be an easy easy cleanup. I don't even need the shield, but we'll do that anyway, and kill it with Jerry. King did quite enough damage on his own there. So easy win with that team. I used to hate that guy quite a bit. Until I slotted in Green King, because I love Green King. He's awesome. He's such a fun character to throw people off with. He's not good in PvP because he's so single target heavy, but he's awesome at slaughtering gray demons, like almost by himself. So this guy, it's kind of just a damage race. Like, he does a little bit of AoE and he's annoying. Helbram helps here because he rolls back the boss's ulti gauge, and I use Red Demon Melee to kind of up the damage because you can start burning him. The other two are just there for whatever. Liz doesn't. If Liz is 80, she does good damage here. I'm gonna build her up eventually. The red Ellihawk, she's the SR one. And the MVP here for me all the time is Helbram, but we're gonna do that. Throw in the first burn damage. See, she does even decent damage at level 60. She's just a level 60 UR with, I think she's 6-star awakened, but she's not limit broken at all. She does have a maxed out LB though, so that helps, or ulti, so that helps with CC. You know, she usually dies before she gets any real damage into the boss though. So here we're going to alt drain him twice and throw our Liz card. You could argue using Melee there easily, but you know, she doesn't do bad damage either way. And I wanted to throw a card with her to lifesteal back because he likes to focus Liz, so it keeps the damage focus off Helbram and Red Demon Melee. She's gonna die, but she tanked all 3 of his attack rounds, so that's fine. Good job, Liz. Alright, so we'll do... I don't think he can be petrified. Maybe. We'll throw the Melee card. We'll do... Then we can move a rank 3 petrify in next turn. Probably might kill him though. Or he might die to burn damage. Red Demon Melee is... I like him a lot, so I don't use him against Crimson anymore because of Derry. His Derry's ridiculous. But this is kind of a, you know, like a little guide late into the game either way, so, you know, like, Training Cave is not really that difficult for people. I remember when it was first coming out, it was really, really, really hard. Like, there's a lot of hype around it. Actually, it wasn't as hard as people thought it was going to be. GP, I guess, had a lot of trouble with the Training Cave when it first dropped, compared to where Global was. Oh, okay. I failed to kill him, so, you know, whatever. We'll do that. Oh yeah, he's got debuffs on him, so Melee does a lot more damage if you have debuffs on the target. He does like double ulti damage, I think it is. Or 3 times damage against someone with a debuff. So before you throw his ulti, you want to make sure there's some sort of debuff on them. It can be anything. They can be petrified, they can be frozen, they can be burning, bleed, shock, poison, any of those would work. So, but it is single target, so it's the same as Blue Demon Melee's ulti. So a lot of people have experience with that one. Who's this fight? Where are you? Oh, you're the dragon. Okay. Green Eska is the MVP here. This is a really easy one though. I go with ulti food here, but because there's a lot of CC between Green Merlin rolling back his ult and Gustav freezing, and then Escanor just, you know, hammers him down really, really fast. You don't want the dragon's ult to go off just like in any of the book stages. Those are old school content though, like they're not hard anymore. So we'll do Eska, freeze. You could also just like save up a level 3 freeze depending on your opening hand, but it's not really needed. He's a very easy boss. So we'll do this, and then we're going to roll his ulti back. I was going to use the level 3 if the cards didn't land in the right order to give it to me that time. It's okay. Easy mode. Okay, so we'll roll his ult back, do that, and that. It's not hard to stall his ult. It's even easier to get freeze cards, but I didn't get too many in that fight. Merlin took him out, but you know, Eska did most of the damage along the way, so. He's definitely one of the easier cave fights. And I think that's it. The last one I think is a mirror match. Again. And that one won't be hard because it is the blue AoE team, which is my strongest AoE team. Which I suspect is mostly everybody's strongest AoE team because it's Blue Demon Melly and Lilia. And what else do I take on this one? You can take whoever you want, really. I'll bring Red Dairy just for fun. And how about Mr. Green Death Pearson back? Because he does lots of damage, or he lowers enemies' crit defense. Yeah, I'm low on stamina. I wish they'd up our max rank so we can get some more stamina going. Sorry for the background noise, I'm still getting ready for work. Recording and eating breakfast doesn't really go that well, so I'm going to make this quick. We'll buff Dairy, Corrosion, and start LV Melly's damage. So we're going up against the Helbram and Red Demon Melly team with Liz. They're like a mono red team, so this isn't going to be a hard win at all. Really easy. But as you can see, I finished with plenty of characters left. There's lots and lots of options now as the game progresses. This is right after the LV Melly banner, so you could even use him in here easily. I did get him. I didn't even think to put him on the team, but Dairy's overkill. Everyone on this team is pretty overkill. I didn't even really need him. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little dive into the training cave with me. It's not super hard content anymore. For a new person, it's going to be a little challenging. But I hope I gave you some team breakdowns there for the fights that you need. And that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you'd like to, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to do some more active content. I don't currently stream, so my channel is very slow growing, but I'm thankful to the 100 people that have subbed in. I hope that it keeps growing. I like it. It's fun to record and kind of do everything. But that's it for me. Again, this is Mako, and I will check you guys later. Have a good day.